Hey YouTubers, this is the Roaming Prepper, and today we're going to do an antique weapon review of a find I picked up before COVID hit and before everything went crazy with the election and the corona and all that crap. And I just thought this was such a unique artifact that I wanted to share it with everyone. I hadn't really had a chance to play with it much. Right after I got it, we relocated, and then, coronavirus. I'm gonna do it now. I'll be right back. This is the Roaming Prepper. Today we're going to go over a quick review of an antique firearm that I thought was really cool. We got it a few years ago before COVID and the craziness hit. Those of you who see the holster probably, if you're experienced with the older firearms, know what it is. But this is a 1936 vintage Russian Nagant 7-shot, 7.62 millimeter officer's revolver. And I know it's 1936 because it actually has the markings, 1936, with what looks like the Izhevsk arsenal. As you can see, it is a double. Well, first and foremost, I'm going to clear the weapon. Now, the cylinder does not come out. So it's like the old revolvers. You can't just flip out the cylinder and inspect it. So you actually have to move this blocking device, pull out the rod, and now look through each individual chamber until the weapon is clear. And that's clear. So, okay, so the weapon is clear. I'll aim it at the camera briefly, just so you could get a forward view of it. And the sides. Believe it or not, I believe we picked this up for 150 bucks years ago. Blows my mind. It was a very cool gift from my better half. My lovely wife got it for me. So in any case, this particular revolver is unique. Now watch. You notice when you pull the hammer back, the cylinder moves up and mates with the barrel. Now, modern revolvers do not do that. The cylinder just rotates and the bullet has a little gap to clear from the chamber of the cylinder, rather, to the barrel. In this case, let's see if I can do this nicely. Once again, look carefully at the way the revolver moves forward and seals against the cone which serves as the chamber of this barrel. So when we bought it, the fellow who had it said he had just sold one that actually had a threaded barrel and was used, according to what he understood, as an assassin's revolver. Normally, if you silence a revolver, because the cylinder has a gap, it makes a horrendous sound. Because this one would seal, when it was new, it would seal such that with a suppressor, it could be used to shoot people. And I mean, I can only imagine getting shot with a 7mm bullet at close range from this thing. It is double action as well as single action, as you've already seen. To clear the weapon or to load it, you actually have a little bar, if you will, a little door. You flip that down and that will expose the cylinder. You would then add one bullet at a time, turning only clockwise, to the revolver. To clear the weapon, you would do the same. You'd flip down the little access door. However, you would rotate the rod to the right, and then the rod would be pushed, apparently not like that, pushed into each cylinder and eject each round. So each round had to be ejected separately. So unlike a modern, Smith & Wesson J-frame where you have a little button, you flip it, the whole cylinder comes out, you push the ejection rod and all the empties come out at once. This thing was like, kind of reminds me of the old cowboy Colts where you had to actually eject each one separately out the side. Now the markings on it, it's very hard to see in this light, guys, I'm sorry. But it is a arrow with a star. It's a Russian star with an arrow pointing upwards. If I'm correct, if I did my research right, is the symbol of the Izhevsk arsenal. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. So Tula, which everyone knows because Tula makes a bunch of ammunition nowadays, and Izhevsk, whatever the pronunciation is, were both manufacturing for the old Soviet Union. So these were issued to NCOs or officers depending on their role. In answer to every shooter's question, no, I have not shot it. To be honest, I like having both my eyes and my nose. This was more a collectible piece for us, but I do enjoy it, and I'm quite sure I can shoot it just fine. I just have not done so yet. That's the bullet. And no, you're not seeing an optical illusion. The bullet is flat-nosed. Actually, it's recessed. I don't know if you can see it, but the bullet is actually down. It's embedded in there. So there's actually maybe an eighth, a quarter-inch gap between the top of this casing and the bullet. And again, according to the fellow who sold it, he said he had done some research. He bought a batch from years ago. When that cylinder would seal against the barrel, that little gap of brass would serve as kind of like a bridge to ensure the seal between the cylinder and the barrel. I just thought it was a really neat historical piece. So I do have ammunition, which is impossible to find. Hence my other reason for being afraid to shoot it is I won't be able to shoot it but a dozen times, and then that would be the end of that. I figure the less I shoot it, the more value it'll have over time as a collectible. But in any case, I just thought this was a neat share on the 1938 Nagant Revolver. I appreciate you guys checking out the video. If you could like and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. In any case, this is the Roaming Prepper. For those of you who are on the road, flying or traveling, Godspeed to you as always. And for everyone else, be safe, be careful, and be ready. Until next time, take care.